Hi everybody, I wanted to give you a little tutorial on some things that you can do for posting assignments for students online in English language arts. I'm going to show you a version today that would work for grades 4 through 8. I shared earlier this week online about a website that I made in Brizzy.io, and I'm going to share my screen so that way you can take a look at this with me. Okay, so here's my site that I shared earlier this week. And I've got a variety of things on here, mostly because I wanted to give you a glimpse at what you could do to post assignments online. I've used Brizzy.io, BRIZY.io. I am doubting myself now if that is the correct thing. I will double check it when we go look at it. I don't know why all of a sudden I can't remember the name of the URL, but I will go over that again in just a minute. What I want you to see is that I've actually created this for teachers. This is not for students. It's to give you an idea of what you could do. So what I have here on the landing page is a story of the week. I have a link to the story, which is about facts about coronavirus. I also have a link here where I'm reading that to students. So hopefully I click that, you'll be able to hear it. Story is facts about coronavirus. If you haven't done so, you can click the link below the link. So I've linked myself reading this particular article so students could listen along while it's playing. Let me show you. This audio cast, so you can see I have both things going on right now. Read along with me while I'm reading. So that way it gives, this comes from National Geographic. That way it gives students support if they're unable to read the article or the reading for the week. Another thing that I have down here is I have some buttons, and these buttons take students to reading assignments. So the first button is reading workshop week 1. If I was posting for week 2, I would just change out the content here and the content that it links to. So here is a page with some information and description for students on what they can do. I've given some directions to teachers here, and then down here I've given an example of what it might look like for students. I have another link here which gives some additional information. This one would be created just for students on independent reading and having them practice read, stop, think, and say during independent reading. And then I have a Google form here that students could be using to put in some responses so that I could check what they were thinking about and how they were practicing their skill while they were reading. Another one that I have linked here is writing workshop week 1. And remember, you can just change these out week by week. You don't have to redesign your landing page every time. And this is an example of an assignment page that I could give to students for writing over the week. On the left-hand side, I have the directions for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and on directions for Thursday and Friday on the right-hand side. I've also posted a little bit of information here about what you could do for some content area literacy. So let's say I wanted to add in my social studies lesson of the week focused on content area literacy. Here I have the article. This links to the article about teens helping their community. And then I have to go back. I have a Padlet connected here for what teens could do writing about their community. I've created a Padlet where I have grouped students. So the directions appear on the left, and then this is group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. Obviously, you'd have more groups than what I've set up here. But this way, the students can just talk to one another that are in this group. So if I were Sarah, for example, I would click here, and I didn't set this so that Sarah's name would show up. So I would need to write Sarah. And then I would write, I am thinking, and then whatever it is. And then another student can come along and can comment on this, but it would only be students in Sarah's group. I've explained what students are to do over here in the directions so that they would know what the expectations are. I could always also give an explanation of what I expected them to do back on the home website if I wanted. But my real purpose for working with you today online is to show you how to set up one of these Brizy pages. So let me go to Brizy. Here we are, and it is brizy.io. I'm going to log in. Bear with me while I do this. Just want you to see the whole process. And of course, I don't have the right password. That's because I'm taping myself. It's hard when you're taping yourself, getting things right. Now I've got it. So what you're wanting is you want Brizy Cloud. Brizy Cloud is free, and you can set up an account with Brizy and use Brizy Cloud for no cost at all. So I'm going to click on Brizy Cloud because this is my free one. And if I wanted to get started creating something for my students, I would click Create a New Project. I'm going to click Website and Landing Page. And then here is my project number 2. And of course, I could label that anything I wanted, like English Language Arts Week 2, or whatever I wanted to call it. Now to start building this page, I'm going to click this button in the middle with the plus sign. And what's going to pop up are some layouts. You can choose any of these layouts, and there are a lot of them that they provide for you. You could choose any of the layouts that you wanted that worked for you. Let me just show you one real quick. I'm going to show you this one. What you do to change anything is you just click on it and type. So I can just get rid of this and type right in here. Can't type today. So you just click and type, and you would put the directions in. If you wanted to change the picture, that's a little bit trickier, but it's not really very hard to do. You're going to click on it, click on the picture, and then you would click on this image button right here, and it shows up, but I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to click it off, and then I'm going to need an image to upload. And let me think, if I happen to have an image on my computer, maybe it would actually be helpful if I show you how to download an image. Why don't I do that? I'm going to go to Unsplash. That is Unsplash, unsplash.com, and they have pictures for free that you can use. And I'm just going to click Books. So let's say I wanted to use this one. I click the little download button. It's going to download it to my computer. And then I'm going to go back to my Brizy site right here. And I'm going to go back to this spot where I was working, and I'm going to click on this little upload button. And my download is right here. And it's going to upload for me. It might take a little bit of time because my internet's a little bit slow, but we'll be able to see this image up here in a minute. It's always so slow when I'm taping and people are watching, but hopefully there it is. There's the image, and there are the books. That's all that I would have to do to add a picture. Now, I want to go back because let's say that I want to actually just use a blank page. I want to go back to Brizy and do project number 2 again, and start building my page again, the plus sign. But this time I'm going to choose this one right here, add a blank block. And here I am. I would choose this little plus sign. I would go over here, choose text, drag the text over, and again, then I can just type and put in my directions. There's a lot of other bells and whistles you can do. You can put a background picture. You could add a background color like this if I wanted to. If I wanted to add a picture, I can add another block. I could go in and choose a button or an icon or an image. Here's image. You just drag it over. Then I could go click the picture, just like I did when I was using the template. I'm going to use the same picture that I used earlier just to show you how to do this. And then we'd have to wait for it to upload. It's going to be the books again, as we're waiting and waiting and waiting for my internet to work. Here we go. Here are the books. Oh, but this is so big. I want this smaller. So maybe I would do that with it. There's all sorts of things that you can do with Brizy in order to create a website for your students, just like I have done here. What I want you to remember is teaching online, remote learning is not the same as face-to-face learning. And you need to give your students an experience that engages them in what they're doing, but provides an opportunity for learning in a totally different way than you would be doing face-to-face. I find providing a little homepage that they can go to and they can interact with that organizes their work for the week to be something that's really, really helpful. And I hope that you give it a try. Again, it's Brizy, BRIZY.io. And you want Brizy Cloud, and it's free. Take care.